Have you ever wondered what really happened at the cross? I'll talk about that in just a few minutes. A lot of times Christians really focus on the death and the torture and the torment that Christ went through on the cross, and that's very appropriate. However, sometimes we forget the true horror of the spiritual nature of the struggle that went on during the crucifixion. Now, what do I mean by that? When Jesus was being sacrificed, he certainly went through a beating. He was mocked. He had nails driven into his hands and feet. He had a spear ran into his side. All of these awful physical things occurred that caused great pain and suffering to him. He was praying in the garden, "Lord, let this cup pass from me if there's a way." But what was he really talking about? Now, I'm sure the coming torment was on his mind, because after all, he still had human nerve endings and he knew the pain that he would endure. But I think mostly the hardest thing that he was probably worried about and concerned with was the fact that when he was on the cross, there is a point that he cries out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And it was at that point that he was separated from the Father. Now, we have to understand this as Christians. In all eternity, Christ and the Father and the Spirit have been together. The Trinity, the three in one. And at that moment, for the first time in the existence of an eternal being, he was out of fellowship with the Father. Now, the Trinity is a complex question. Is it three gods or is it one? Well, it's one, but with three aspects. And we could get into that, and it's very hard to wrap your head around what that really and truly is and means. It's hard for man to understand. But the point I'm trying to make here is that when Jesus cried out, he was separated from God at that moment. And folks, that in essence is what hell truly is. Now, I know there are people that think hell is an eternal burning lake of fire, or maybe it's annihilation where people burn up and are no more. Maybe it's outer darkness. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure 100%. I know what I think personally, and I know what I can see in Scripture of what hell is. But I can tell you this about it. It's bad. You don't want to go there. And it really literally means separation from God. That's what hell is. And at that moment, when Jesus cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" he was experiencing the hell that you deserve and that I deserve. So as we walk through our life and we think of the things we have to endure, let's not forget what Christ has endured for us. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and be kind to each other.